Choo-choo. The money train's pulling in. It's live 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. The payoff pitch is here to keep delivering you guys some more winners. There's no reason to hide it. We don't hide it when we're in a cold streak, so we sure as hell aren't going to hide it. We're on a hot streak. We're both hot.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Squirrel?
Hey, buddy. It's kind of another day of, let me read you what I actually wrote. Another sparse day, not much to bet on. That's my first inning thought. Yesterday was kind of like that, and I had a hell of a day regardless. I gave out the very rare two-team parlay, actually. That was in the Stanley Cup game. I had the Avalanche money line and the over 6, so that was a plus 210 cash. I hit the Pirates plus 140. I had the full unit Twins that I gave out here on the show, and the only thing I lost was a half a unit on the Tampa Bay Rays. So I think that accounted for 2.7 units. I want to say something like that. So
you're pulling in 2+ units on a day when the card, didn't look all that great, or maybe it didn't jump out to you. That's kudos to you, man. Very nice. I pulled in some profit as well. I'm a member of HockeySquirrel.com, so thank you for that Avalanche parlay. I enjoyed waking up to that winner. I was certainly asleep. I didn't know if I was going to wake up to a winner or a loser, and I woke up to a winner.
It was an overtime. I don't want to call it a nail biter. I mean, I really think, I know this is about baseball, but I really think they controlled the hell out of that game. It just doesn't always work that, like, the better team wins all the time, so you're still kind of nervous about it.
Sure. I agree with you, though, in terms of today's slate. Obviously, it's Thursday, and it's always generally getaway day in baseball, so we have a reduced number of games, so we've got that going against us. And then kind of like yesterday, not a lot jumped out, but just like we found you guys winners on yesterday's show, we'll look to go ahead and do that today. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the second inning. We call it around the bases. Let's see what Squirrel wants to kick off this show with.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that I'm actually betting on aren't until my later innings, but I will get to them. One thing I want to say up front, and I'll say it again at the end when I give out my official plays, so-called. I sent out my official card this morning for all of my members at HockeySquirrel.com at 5 a.m. or something like that, 4 or 5 a.m. So some of the things that I'm giving you today are not on my card at HockeySquirrel.com, but they are of value because the lines simply weren't available, whether they are props, team totals, things like that. So what I'll do is start off with the first game today that's going off is the Athletics and the Red Sox. And I kind of like this game to go under due to the pitching and the non-existent offense of the Athletics as well. I do like Paul Blackburn. I like his stats. I like when I watch him pitch. I think, he's very confident. And due to certain teams not being good offensively, I think it really kind of hinders the good pitching of certain teams. So, we've talked about Zach Gallen, right? Because he's on the Diamondbacks, I think he flies under the radar. Paul Blackburn's going to be another one of these kind of guys where great numbers, he's a great pitcher, but the team does not really support him to make him this, sought-after guy. Mm-hmm. But I still think he's going to post good numbers. I think he's going to contribute to the game being a lower score, and so will that bottom-of-the-barrel offense, who it's down there with the Detroit Tigers, and surprisingly, the LA Angels of all teams. Have you seen some of these numbers?
Yeah, I mean, you lose 14 games in a row, you're going to be in the bottom of the barrel, right?
Absolutely. So, but yeah, I mean, it's one thing, and Rich Hill still deals as far as I'm concerned. Boston isn't number one. I mean, really, their numbers are, I think, off the top of my head, kind of more middle of the road-ish. Mm-hmm. So, I would take it to go. I'll take it to go under.
Okay, yeah, let's
under 9.5.
Okay, I wanted to clear that up because it sounds like Brian in the comment section thinks you like over 9 because he said that's his best bet.
Yeah, I just read that.
Okay, but did you give out an over or an under?
Under. Yeah, I like it to go under. Yeah, right. I like the pitching and I like the terrible Athletics offense to go under. So.
Okay. Cool. That's why I like this show. Well, a lot of reasons why I like this show. One of the things I like about it is our handicapping is completely different. I personally wouldn't do an under in that game. One of the things I look at is familiarity with these pitchers and the hitters, and these guys just face the opponent. So, but I didn't bet it, so I would bet the over. But hey, you're on the under, so I always root for your picks.
The good thing for our friend here is he got it at 9, and I think so that would give him a half a point of value if he's on the over. So, it does look good for him there in terms of like a EV standings.
Love it. All right, Squirrel's asking a question there about Blackburn's strikeout total. We both have an opinion on that in this third inning that we call shut up and pitch. So we'll get to that one here in a little bit there, Squirrel there. I want to talk about a game. I want to talk about this Tigers and Rangers game. This one is a little bit of a head scratcher. I'm going to talk about this game for a second. For one, Tigers hit the left-handers better than they do right-handers, folks. That doesn't mean they're killing the ball because they're not really crushing anything, but they are doing good against left-handers. They've got a very small sample size in their most recent games. It's only 30 plate appearances, but if you do want to go ahead and look at that, the Detroit Tigers have the third best batting average versus left-handers. The sample size is what's really small because I like their F5 team total over 1.5 runs. I think they can get to that. They have left-handed success over the course of the season, and even in this little stretch here with 30 plate appearances, they're just better versus left-handers. You've seen what Perez can do. We'd seen him get roughed up. Saw it most recently there against the White Sox. White Sox hit left-handers, not at the clip the Tigers aren't going to hit it at that clip, but I just think that this could be a good spot. I couldn't quite add it to my card. I just thought, if there's an offense I want to back today, do I want to back the Tigers or do I want to back another team that I'll talk about here a little bit later in the second inning? Yeah. And that's basically what the decision was, is I'm not going to back the Tigers even though they are on a little bit of a roll, small sample size, but maybe they can get it done. So this is going to be a fascinating game, though. Bullpen-wise, kind of neck and neck. If you want to give a slight edge to the Rangers, I'm not going to disagree, but it's not a big discrepancy right there. This guy here for the Tigers, he's coming off a nice start against the Blue Jays, a nice start against the Yankees. He's kind of turned his rookie season around the last two, so I almost had the Tigers, or actually, do I have the Tigers as my long shot? Well, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I'm talking myself into jumping on this Tigers F5 team total, but I'm going to hold off, but I just wanted to talk about this game. I think this could be a nice spot here for the Tigers to maybe possibly do some damage. But what's another game you want to talk about here in the second inning, Squirrel?
Yeah, the only thing I would like to add to that game is the Rangers are no longer anywhere near valuable. They are minus 150 or 155 at this point. Mm-hmm. If you were going to do it at the minus 130 or 135 when it was there, and that happened either last night or very, very early this morning when I was looking at it at 4 a.m. So, I think you're far too late on that one if you are liking the Rangers better spots, or just lay off and wait for tomorrow for something at that point. Let's jump. I think it would be to the bottom of the board. I think it's the last game today is the Angels and the Mariners. And I just put a big yikes with a question mark next to it because you get Ohtani, but again, does it not seem weird to see Ohtani on the mound and the Angels? And in my head, I'm thinking only minus 120 just feels weird. I mean, when you look at the stats, you understand why, right? Mm-hmm. But again, you look at the roster and you don't understand why. Why would, Ohtani and Trout and all these guys, how did they have these stats? How does this team have bottoming? You just don't put them with the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. I wouldn't, unless you're looking at the numbers, which is why it's very important to look at the numbers. Because I think a lot of people just see, it's Ohtani, and then they'll take the Angels, I guess very small, try the Mariners, but again, it's nothing that ended up on my card. It's just something that I thought it's interesting to talk about.
I got a feeling I got George Kirby on the mound here for the Mariners in his rookie campaign. I think the Angels light him up. Something just tells me rookie running into those powerful bats, they'll know how to work the plate. They're going to be disciplined. They got their ace on the mound, Ohtani. I think the Angels show up, and I think if you wanted to lay the juice at minus, 23 or 24, maybe minus 125, whatever it is, something tells you the Angels show up.
It's not much
today.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's just I think it's a tough enough matchup that I didn't really want any part of it. But
you're going to need Ohtani today because that Mariners bullpen significantly better. Again, the Angels are on a terrible losing streak, so if you look up their stats in a recent stretch, they're going to be towards the bottom. It's a big discrepancy. Yep. This Mariners bullpen's been pitching pretty good lately. They're up in the top half of the league. So you're going to need Ohtani. If you're backing the Angels today, you better get 7 innings out of Ohtani. You don't want to rely much on that Angels bullpen. So
Right.
good stuff right there.
One.
All right, let me move to the next game. This one I do got to bet. I'm going to do that Mets team total over 3.5. If I came down to backing an offense today, I'm not backing the Tigers offense. I'm backing that Mets offense. Love them here in this nice bounce back spot. Not only do we get them in a nice bounce back spot, but you're going to go from Corbin Burns to Ashby. You know what that's going to look like? That's going to look like going from a baseball to a beach ball. Yeah, these hitters are going to be relieved to see Ashby on the mound. You want to add in the fact that the Mets are really good against left-handers? How many times have we backed the Mets this season against left-handers? A lot is the answer to that, and we're going to do it one more time today. Ashby's got good numbers. I mean, this guy he's a good pitcher, but Mets have just been too successful versus left-handers. I like that. You don't have Hader in the bullpen here. He went on the paternity list there for the Brewers, so you may have to deal with Devin Williams because they didn't have to use their good arms yesterday. They had such a big blowout. But you don't get Josh Hader, so I absolutely love that. So I think the Mets will put up 4. Been too good against left-handers. They're still in the top 10 currently in the most recent stretch, which matters most to me. What are you doing right now? The Mets are still hitting left-handers. So I'll back the Mets today. I like them in this bounce-back spot against the lefty. So it's over 3.5 runs for me as a team total. You can get that at minus 120. Shut up. We've talked too long. Let's give these guys some pitching props. Why don't we take the one right off the bat? Squirrel asked about it in the comments. You're on one side. I'm on the other. Who's the player, and what side are you on, man?
That player is Paul Blackburn, which I talked about in that Athletics game. I like him to hold the score down, as I already said. And it really seems to be a fine teeter-totter of 3 on his strikeouts. It's either 4 or it's 3. It tends to be. Really, I mean, it's going to be a sweat, I think, for both of us. I think you are against me on this one. I'm paying the minus 120 to go over 3.5 strikeouts, as I do like to back him as a pitcher. Taking the under, I guess I can understand. He has previous results that are fairly recent against Boston, does he not? That are pretty, I guess, not favorable for my bet. But nevertheless, I still will go over the 3.5.
I like it when we go head-to-head. Somebody gets to talk smack on tomorrow's show. Make sure you come back because somebody's going to be chirping in the first inning tomorrow. Yeah, so you're on Blackburn over. I'm on the under. And I got it at plus 120. That's what I gave it out at. I love it here. It cashed in his last start versus the Guardians. We bet this in his last start versus the Guardians. Watched most of that game. He had 3 Ks after like 4. My man went, was it 7 or 8? I think whatever it was like, oh my God, he's back out there for another inning. And I just kept sweating because we were on the hook. He never got that 4th strikeout. He's not going to overpower you. He's going to induce you in a small contact. Again, we cashed in his last start. His start before that was against the Red Sox. It also cashed against these Red Sox. People know how my handicap, I like to factor in batter familiarity against the pitcher, so that's only going to be hopefully more in my edge, obviously this time around. It's cashed in 5 of his 8 starts overall. He stayed under 3.5 Ks. The Red Sox are 10th best right now in K percentage versus right-handed pitching, and their offensive categories are 10 through 15. I expect them to kind of do similar performance. I like how I kind of talked about when you like the under in this game, and I talked about the over. You get a lot of familiarity. I like Paul Blackburn. Say under 3.5 Ks at plus 120. I'd say may the better man come out on top, but we're both good people. Maybe just good luck to you there, Squirrel. What's the other pitching prop you want to go ahead and get out there?
Back to this Rangers game, I like Martin Perez on the over 4.5. Just such a bad Tigers offense. They just can't hit anything, and he's so solid, consistently going, a full 5, 6, 7 innings for Martin Perez that I'm not worried about him not only getting hit where he'd be taken out of the game early enough, but also, just that. I don't know. I mean, everything surrounding. I mean, you have a bad enough offense that I expect him to strike out. He's got, enough distance and enough stuff to get where he needs to go. I think over 4.5 is very warranted.
Like that right there, because I mentioned why the Tigers may have good numbers in a very small sample size in a recent stretch. The one thing that is against them is a high K percentage. So like that pick right there, Squirrel. I'm going to go ahead and do another one here for Cleveland Guardians. Tristan McKenzie over 4.5 Ks. The best price right now is minus 115. I'm going to give it out a little bit higher at minus 127. But you can now find a better price. It's at minus 115. We also cashed his last start. It was that same game against Blackburn. You guys remember we did that same game parlay? Tristan McKenzie was in there, and he went up over it. There's something that makes me a little bit nervous with this. And you guys remember I gave you guys last night or yesterday, Plinkington there, over 14.5 outs. What a tough beat that was. Watch that game from about the third inning on. On the fifth inning, he gave up a single. He had one out in the fifth inning. He gave up a single to Blackburn, and Terry Francona hooked him. That's what's got me nervous in this game. I don't know why Francona went out there and hooked the pitcher. He was pitching decent while the Rockies had 4 runs. One of them apparently came in the second inning when there was an error. I saw the one in the fourth inning. The outfielder just dropped the ball on out number 3. So, okay, take away 2 errors. He'd only given up 2 runs. That makes me a touch nervous for this bet that Terry Francona may have a similar quick hook. But like Tristan McKenzie, over 4.5 Ks. Again, cashed in his last start. The Athletics, and cashing that last start against those Athletics, they have a worse K percentage than the Rockies. The Athletics are 20th in K percentage. The Rockies are all the way up to 12. This is a team that'll certainly swing and miss. Again, they're 12th worst in their K percentage. Rockies, in terms of offensive stats versus right-handers, are anywhere from about 16 to 25 across the various stats. It's cashed overall in 6 of his 11 starts. Again, Terry Francona makes me nervous after getting burned by him last night. I thought we deserved that plus 130 cash. Let's see if Francona can be cool today and get McKenzie up over 5 Ks. All right, let's go ahead and get to a long shot. 4th inning. What's the dog you like on the board today, Squirrel?
There really aren't many viable options for this, if at all, today.
I struggle too.
I mean, unless you want to take a chance at the Mariners, which we already talked about. The thing I guess I came up with is the high game total that is in Colorado, trying to back the underdog there in the Rockies and just hope that the high total means that there's enough variance there in the runs that they pull off a win.
Off the top of my head, I think Chad Kuhl's been their best pitcher. I'm trying to run through their starting pitchers in my head right now. I'm pretty sure Kuhl's been their best one, so this will be a good spot to back them for sure.
Sure, yeah. And I haven't talked about it today. Generally, I do. That money and sharp action is all there as well, so that was a part of my decision as well. But generally, when you see that high total of 11.5 or 12, the underdog's going to correlate with that. And, I guess if I had to, I would. Not that I am, but it's just to fill a section of the show. So
I love that element you bring to the show. Obviously, I could care less. Nobody's ever heard me mention where the money's at. I don't care what people are doing with their money. I trust my work. Just curious, where's the money on this Rangers-Tigers game? Because I do have the Tigers as the best underdog. In saying that, I agree with you. I thought it was tough to pick a dog. I'm on the Tigers. If they can get to Perez, I think you'll cruise to a win if those left-handed bats or the success against left-handed pitchers can show up. Curious, where do you see the money for that game?
It's heavily on the Rangers, and there's a reason that line's moved from minus 130 to 155. There's no love for the Tigers today at all.
All right, I got love for the Tigers, just a little bit. It didn't get my money, and not like that much love or anything. I do agree with you. It was a tough day to find an underdog. All right, let's give these people some hitting props. What do you got here in the 5th inning? Keep swinging.
Literally, I wrote literally anyone from the Philadelphia Phillies.
I picked one guy. I picked one guy out.
Corbin's getting murdered today. I don't care what you say, dude. And my very next inning is something to do with the Phillies, but
I'm curious.
Oh my God, take anybody on that team.
I'm curious. Yesterday you mentioned the Braves. Obviously, Fetty. You said take any Brave. People would have probably taken Acuna. He went 0 for 6. Everybody else 2 for 4, 3 for 5, 1 for 5, 1 for 5, 1 for 5, 4 for 4, 2 for 4. All right. Hopefully people didn't pick Acuna yesterday when you said pick anybody. That probably would have been a popular pick. That would have been unfortunate. I'm with you today. Pick anybody against the Phillies. You got Corbin Burns on the mound. I did a same game parlay.
Not against the Phillies, against the Nationals. Yeah,
or against the Nationals. Sorry. Yeah. I did a same game parlay for this game. I plucked out one Philly I think can have him a day. Hoskins. I think he can do it against Corbin. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 for 26. And parlayed him with Hernandez there for the Nationals. I think it's a great play. 10 for 26 against Zach Wheeler. All of them are singles, so he's not going to bring any power. So you definitely want to do hits with this guy. But if you do a same game parlay of those 2 individuals to go ahead and get a hit, it comes in at minus 103. So if same game parlays are your flavor, I think that's going to be the best one for you today. Let's go ahead and move it to It's a Steal, the 6th inning. What do you got for a steal there, Squirrel?
Due to the fact that I think you could take anyone as a batter against Patrick Corbin, the team total feels like a steal, an absolute steal, and it's very fitting to me for this section of our show. The Phillies' first 5 innings, team total over 2.5. So 3 runs in the first 5 innings, minus 120 or minus 125 roughly. Their expected full game to get 5.5, which interestingly enough is a higher team total than both the Blue Jays are getting and the Yankees are getting today, which is weird to me. For significantly less on the money line and whatnot. There are higher juice teams that are getting a less of a team total, which I don't know. I find that really weird. So to get 2.5 against Corbin, where everyone's crushing him, I just think, why not? And that's something that wasn't available at 4 a.m. when I was giving out my cards. So this is something that came later. Once it was available, there was no line this morning on this. So that is why it's not on my card, but something that, if it would have been available, I would have given it out. So this is something that I really do like and would recommend as a play.
Like that F5 team totals, that's music to my ears, and I think that Phillies one is a good one. They should get the Corbin. They've got nice success over him, over his career. All right, 6th inning. I give out a steal, or not a steal. I give out a NRFI in this inning every day. Before I do that, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined the live stream yesterday. Of course, I gave out Reds, Diamondbacks, and a couple minutes before first pitch, jumped on YouTube and did 6 outs to glory with you guys and sweated. It was a lot of fun, and we got the cash we deserve. So today's NRFI starts at 1:20 p.m. Central Time. So let's do it again. Let's hop on YouTube Live. If you got nothing going on this afternoon, come on, hang out with me. Sweat 6 outs to glory with me. What's going to be the game? It's Padres Cubs at plus 125. Plus 125, boys. Padres Cubs, best NRFI of the day. You got Musgrove on the mound there for the Padres. Been outstanding. Only 2 runs and 11 starts. In fact, he hasn't given up a run since April 19th. Has 13 Ks. Love that. He should be able to wiggle out. Cubs are first in runs per first. So that's not good, obviously, but we got Musgrove really been clean since April 19th, so that's what I like. For the Cubs, you got Matt Swarmer on the mound. He's only had 3 starts. He's given up 1 run in those 3 starts. It came via the home run, so just needs to not give up a softball there. And he got 3 Ks, so I like that. I always like for the Ks to kind of equal the innings pitch there. So I think that's the best NRFI for the day. Padres are 23rd in runs per first. Mentioned the Cubs are first. But I think Musgrove can go ahead and keep them silent for at least 1 inning. So Padres, Cubs, NRFI, plus 125. Come join me live on YouTube, 1:20 p.m. Central Time. We'll sweat 6 outs to glory. All right, 7th inning. I need you guys, too, on those streams. Those are sweaty bets. I need the positive energy. All right, coming to a stretch. Best bet of the day. What is it, Squirrel?
The one I gave out for the free pick, this was a 4 a.m. pick, and I know you saw that on TikTok because I was randomly making onion rings at 4 a.m. Dude, don't even ask.
Well, 2 days ago you were eating a brat at 4 in the morning on TikTok. Yet today you're eating onion rings. What are you doing?
It was 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I was eating a brat. Today 4 a.m. onion rings.
You must have just had your physical last week, and you're just saying to hell with the next 11 months.
I'm up at weird hours, but New York Yankees I had on the run line, and I've been cashing a lot of run lines in the last couple weeks here. I've had good systems on them. The one I'm using today on this game cashes at 73%. So that is obviously something to like. And then you get Severino on the mound. So I think just over a 2 ERA and a 1 WHIP. What I had seen at the time of handicapping the game was Fleming on the mound for the Rays, and he had like a 6.5 ERA and a 2 WHIP. Now, talking to you as of last night, you were saying Rasmussen was projected. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Rasmussen when I was doing it last night because I was going to get a player prop on him. I had a nice angle for everybody.
After I gave it out thinking it was Fleming, it changed again, and now you have Jalen Beeks starting the game for like an inning, and then some random Garza. Bro, I don't know what they're doing with the pitchers over here. I don't know who these people are, but I will trust Severino. I'll trust the home. I think they're on quite a home streak as well. The Yankees are. was it 6 or 13 or something along those 6 games in a row? 6 wins in a row, 13 at home. I don't know, something along those lines.
Just make up the number. Nobody's going to call you out. They're winning every day. Just throw a number out there. People will go with it.
No, they are. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They're on a
fire.
huge winning streak.
They're on fire.
You're getting like number 2 or number 3 offense or something. The bullpen's insane. You got Severino. Like, there's really nothing not to like in this game. I bet my stuff action from that's just how I play. I do it in hockey as well. I mean, there is no like listed goalie, so I hear you get listed pitcher. I don't know. I just bet action. So my bet stands as the New York Yankees on the run line at a -115 currently is what you can grab them at.
All right, let's go Yankees. Continue staying hot so Squirrel can pick up a nice win. I need to scroll down and look at my official bets. I don't have anything in this section. Small games. Which of these do I think is absolutely best? All right, I don't want to repeat my parlay, so I'm going to do the Mets team total over 3.5. That'll be my best bet today. So Mets team total over 3.5. Love it. Love them against left-handers. I got no problem backing the Mets against a left-handed starter. So let's go Mets over 4 runs or 4 runs and over. That's the best bet. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'll go ahead and talk first just because you had a little lengthy there. I'm going to do 8th inning, double play. We'd like to give out a parlay. Hunter's on it. Hunter's on it. He said Phillies, Padres at +150. Plus, wish I got it at +150. I'm only going to give it out at +138. That's what I bought it at about an hour ago. So Phillies, Padres, I think that's going to be your best parlay of the day, boys. You got the Phillies going up against Corbin and the Nationals. They just have too much success up against Patrick Corbin to ignore that. Phillies also an emotional walk-off, 2 or 3 run bomb yesterday, whatever it was. Big play. I think they'll just carry that energy right on into the ballpark today. You don't have to deal with Juan Soto. He's still out for the Nationals. So, okay, I think the Phillies will take down the Nationals, and then I'm going to parlay them with the Padres. With Musgrove on the mound, they got – whoa, actually, let me actually pull this up. I deleted that tab. Okay, the bullpen advantages for Padres versus Cubs right now is huge. Cubs are sitting like bottom 3. Their ERA was like 7 point something when I looked it up. Terrible bullpen for these Cubs. I think Padres with Musgrove on the mound, backed by a strong bullpen. They've got the better offense overall. Phillies, Padres, best parlay of the day, +138. What about for you?
Well, I have to put my best bet in a parlay, so I'll go Yankees on the run line, and then I just don't know which way I want to work it because it comes out to be about the same in terms of price. I think I'm going to go that first 5 Phillies team total over 2.5 comes out to a +236 if you parlay both of those together. So Yankees run line and the Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5. The other way you could do it is take a double run line, Phillies and Yankees, and that comes out +230. But I'd rather not worry about the other team scoring on both games. So I think I'll just take the team total there on the Phillies and go +236 on that.
Sweet. 9th inning. We call it the closer before we get to rapid fire, where we'll talk about all these games from money line, run line, and over-under perspective. Let's throw our bets up. We've each got a few. You've been running with one here. You got more than one. Go through yours first.
Yeah, so as I said, the only official bet that I actually have as a part of my members card at hockeysquirrel.com is the Yankees run line -115. So that is my most confident bet that I like here. This really is actually in order of confidence. Basically, the Phillies missed my card due to the fact that the line wasn't available when I was sending it, but it is something that would have made my card had that line been out prior. So I really do like that Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5 runs. Going heads up with Jason on that over under of Blackburn. I like the over 3.5 strikeouts. We're gonna duke it out. The Perez there of the Rangers to go over 4.5 strikeouts against a bad offense.
That game's at 12:35. We won't have to wait long to talk some smack to you. I get to hit you up nice and early before I go pick up the kids from childcare. Let's go ahead and do that Phillies Padres.
It's great first inning when he just strikes out the side. You're gonna be like, shit.
You know, the way Schreider did it to me yesterday, I gave out that one under 5.5. I looked at the box score. It said it was 3rd inning. I said, sweet, wonder where he's at. Oh, He's got 5 after 2. Close that phone. He's definitely going way over.
Dude, he ended up with like 11, didn't he?
Sure. I don't know. I assume he got the 6K. I don't even know. I sent the tweet out as if it was a loser. I'm assuming it was a loser.
Yep. He ended up with 11 strikeouts, dude. I checked.
Yeah, he was absolutely on fire. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, those are my bets. So Phillies, Padres, plus 138. Mets team total over 3.5. Blackburn's going to say under 3.5 Ks at plus 124s. McKenzie's going to go over 4.5 at minus 127. And come sweat the NRFI with me. 1:20 p.m. Eastern time. Come on, 6 ounces of glory. Plus 125 in that Padres versus Cubs game. Let's jump on BetUS. We'll pull up these lines, talk about these games. Hey, we cashed for the first time. We always hang back in the show. While I pull up BetUS, I'll tell you guys a story. We always hang back, but yesterday we hung back extra time, and we had never put together a parlay of our rapid fire picks, and we were just kind of sitting back. We put together a 5-legger between us, and Squirrel and I split a little profit yesterday. We both brought home almost $200. So
fun.
These rapid fire, I don't know, you take it as serious as you want, but you know, I'm serious in my opinions. I know Squirrel is too. So with that being said, let's jump into it. We got Athletics and Red Sox kicking off today. Over under of 10. Athletics plus 150. Red Sox minus 175. I'll say the over. I like the over in this one.
Sorry, dude, I got like 4 things going on at once. So get. You were talking about the Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the under, right? Yeah, I was on the under, and so wow. Here's the thing. Our friend here has a whole run worth of value. He got over 9. It's 10 now, but I'm going to stick with my under. So I guess at this point I'll take under 10.
Okay, under 10 for you. Padres and Cubs are up next. Padres minus 170. Cubs are at plus 145. Man, these overs have been high in this series. Over of 11. Woo. And did it cash yesterday? I don't know. Cashed in game 1. There were 17.
Musgrove too, though?
Yeah. I'm on the Padres run line. I'm doing Padres run line.
And a day game. Day game and Musgrove. Does that scream over to you? It doesn't to me.
Screams run line.
Do we know what the wind is doing again? 14 mile an hour out. Is that like the reason though? Is that the reason these have been going that far over?
Yes. It matters. It's right off the lake. It matters. It matters.
Mm-hmm. Fine. I'm with you then. I'll let you steer me there.
All right, Padres run line for you then. Orioles and Blue Jays are up next. What do we got? Over under of 8.5. This one's been going over. We've got Orioles plus 205. Got Blue Jays at minus 245. Can the Blue Jays get a series win? I'm going to say, well, I'm not paying 245. Not paying the run line. I'm going over 8.5.
I would not take an over today. Wells is actually respectable.
Yes, he was great in his last start. I watched it. Great.
And isn't he like a monstrosity? I mean, he's like 6'7", 6'8", and the dude's like massive, isn't he?
Yeah, he looked pretty big on TV.
So no, I wouldn't go over. I would take a Blue Jays run line.
Blue Jays run line for you. All right, Guardians and Rockies are up next. We have an over-under of 11.5. We have Guardians at minus 130, Rockies at plus 110. I'm on the Guardians. I think they get the win today in a series win as well. Rockies minus 130. Or Guardians.
Yeah, I said my only underdog lean of the day, I guess. I would go Rockies then. Dude, we're just going head to head today. What the hell?
Like it. Everybody's on Phillies run line. You got anything else other than Phillies run line for this next game?
No, sir. Unless you wanted to go with an over because of the fact that, surprisingly, some of these guys are decent against Wheeler, right? Soto and I think Josh Bell was good against him. And
Soto won't be playing, but yeah.
Oh, he won't? Okay, well, then really, yeah, Phillies run line it up.
Oh, they don't have their best player? I'm on the Phillies. Yes, sir. Rays and Yankees are up next. You're getting a bullpen game out of these Rays. That's what put me off this Yankees action is a bullpen game. Severino's on the mound. Guy's been on fire, looking like he's back his pre-Tommy John issue right there. So I'm going to jump on that Yankees run line with you. I think it'll be uncomfortable with the bullpen game, but that's the best bet, I think. Or under 8. Actually, under 8. I'm switching under 8. Under 8.
No, get back here. Okay.
What do you like? Do you like the over and under?
No.
Okay.
I think the Yankees bomb them.
All right, Brewers and Mets are up next. I was completely wrong about this game yesterday. I thought the Mets had a nice spot. Mets today are at minus 135. Brewers are at plus 115. Over under of 8. I'll take the Mets money line at minus 135.
Yep.
And then second to last, Rangers, Tigers. You like Rangers, I like Tigers. I like over, you like under. So yeah, a lot there to go head to head with. So make your own decisions, folks. We're both on the opposite there. Angels and Mariners. I think this is Angels minus 125. Given their current stretch, this is best.
I'm going to go with the Angels, although I feel a little weird about it. But I don't think I can honestly back going against Ohtani and everything, even despite the horrible offensive effort they put together recently. I just have to. You just look at a roster and it's like, how can I go against that at such a low price?
Agree.
I'll say Angels. They're not getting my money, but I'll lean that way.
All right, I'm with the Angels with you, and that's how we'll do it today, folks. Hopefully we've given you guys some more winners. Hopefully we provide you guys with a good show and some entertainment. Thank you. You guys always add to that entertainment as well. Appreciate each and every single comment. Thanks for joining us. Go enjoy your Thursday. Come on back for Friday's show. We'll do it all over again. Have a good one.
See you later.